Let's look at the pretty cows. These are the most beautiful cows I've ever seen. Today I want to look at them all. There's a nice pretty one. And aren't you beautiful? Aren't you just beautiful? Can I claim you as my cow? You're a little skinny in the back end there, buddy. Ain't got enough grass to eat. And there's the baby bulls too. They put all the males together and let their horns grow out. Females don't have horns or what? That's strange that I don't know that. Females don't have horns. That's pretty weird. Such a pretty little cow. That can't be your mama, because that's got to be your daddy, because you guys are the same color. He knows his daddy? They know their daddy. See, we humans think that these cows don't know who their family is, or they don't care. Well, you don't think he cares? That little calf is staying close to his daddy. He knows. Now, how do you suppose he knows who his daddy is? The only way I could even tell is because he's exactly the same color. I just think that's just crazy, 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 crazy true. Crazy information. Alright. Well, I like this guy, this farm. I think he has a nice farm here at the beginning of my road. He's got a good way of raising his cattle, and they're not suffering too bad. And even though he took the baby away from the mommy, baby still gets to stay with the daddy. That's better than some of these places. They take the babies away and put them by themselves in little bitty stalls about 3 feet by 5 feet wide, long or whatever, and the little calf will stay in there. And that's just wrong. My goodness, can't a baby just be allowed to be a baby? Have fun and run around and play? I mean, it's pretty bad when we have to accept the fact that once you grow up, you get to suffer and die. But at least when you're a baby, can you just leave babies alone and let them run around and have fun? This farm doesn't seem so bad. It seems pretty natural, and the cows seem pretty happy. Although, you know, it's not perfect, but it's never perfect, is it? Is it? So I'm excited about the new truth that we're pulling up from the bottom. I mean, this has been a huge misconception. You know, we started throwing the spotlight on some of these lies. Really, they're lies, even though they don't sound so bad. They sound innocuous, but they're really killing us. When you tell people that they need to light candles and sit in a yogi position and hum, you know, and you tell them that somehow they're going to become enlightened, that the great sages and prophets of the past did this. You're confusing them, and confusion's not going to lead you anywhere, because none of the true prophets ever did this. Even Buddha, you know, he's attributed with sitting in the yogi position for a long time until he became enlightened, but that's not the truth. The truth is, it's more like Elijah, who sat on Mount Horeb and just sat and waited until he heard the still small voice. But you don't do it forever. And you don't have to sit in one position, and there's no specific way to sit or breathe. This is been very complicated. So people made stuff up because they wanted specifics. I guess the students wanted to know, what shall I do? How shall I be saved? They told Jesus the same thing. Lord, how shall we be saved? You know? When is the kingdom of God going to come? Are you the Messiah? People want to know answers. But you see, the world could never have grasped the nature of our physical realm. They could never have understood that it was coming from their own minds, that they were that powerful. It was like a battery that was getting charged. We humans were just little babies with this great potential that one day we'd grow up. We were at the top of the biological chain. We were about to become awake and have the realization. It was the divine spirit that was in the universe that was trying to find an outlet, an expression through mankind, through love, through the gentleness of the spirit of man, forgiveness. You know, man could do something that animals couldn't do. You know, write a bunch of laws and demand that everybody be under their government. It's artificial, ambiguous, arbitrary. Because we only go by the natural law. No one is to be bound by any human laws, no matter how wise they may sound. Because that's slavery, no matter how you look at it. Because you can't, and not a democracy either. We don't want that. I shouldn't have to go by the majority opinion. Everybody can do whatever they want. Variety. You know? And then the natural selection takes place. The weak are picked off, and the gene pool gets stronger, and humans evolve and are not punished arbitrarily by some human law, but there is a type of punishment in the world. I mean, gravity. If you break that law, you fall down. But that's the natural world, and it's represented by this egotistical, carnivorous government that we have, this vicious, ferocious, wild government that's carnivorous and lustful and greedy and awful, wicked intentions and murderous intentions, because it's taken on the nature of the wild animal. It's gone to wild. It isn't domesticated. It doesn't serve our purposes. The government is the animal that needs to be tamed, like the bull, like the ox. You put a bit in its mouth. And when Jesus came riding into Jerusalem, well, he put a bit in that donkey's mouth, and even that stubborn carnal nature, he controlled it. He had control of this world in every detail. You know how we're told to bring every thought into subjection to Christ? He had already done that before he rode into Jerusalem on that ass. And that was a symbol of the fact that he had gained the dominion over the earth and over the carnal nature. And that's all we have to do. But, as I've said, the carnal nature doesn't become less carnal by beating it, corralling it, abusing it, hurting it, and taking it to slaughter. It does nothing. We have to cultivate that other nature, the lamb, the usefulness of the lamb. We have to love one another and wake up to that other nature that's inside of us, the Christ nature. But the breakthrough that we've made is that what we've discovered is that there is the path out of this, and it is truth, and it is gnosis. So the ultimate goal is the truth, to find the truth. But what happens, what we find is the truth is subjective to each person. Now, the absolute truth is not subjective, because The divine mind, which is the blueprint for all of the other realities. You know, everybody has their own little reality in their mind, but we make agreements and we come together as one, and we share our experience, and we live in a world together. So we have to come through this situation on the earth and overcome all the difficulties and overcome it. Get dominion. But now we know that as fast as we can build, come to a conclusion and know the truth, four-wheel drive. I don't like driving over. I know I've got good tires, but I don't like driving over all these stumps, rocks. So I'm not sure how it. If you hit it on the sidewall or something, you could pop your tire. Although I have really good tires with good sidewalls. But I don't like this situation right here where there's a lot of rocks and stumps there. See that? I didn't like the way that felt. So it's not good. I gotta. There we go. Hey, girls. Last one out. Come on, baby. Come on. Here. Let's make some coffee. Even though we've had one cup, we need another one. Okay. And then we're gonna... My camera just went off. I don't know why. We're not full. Was it a raindrop? Boy, I don't like going all the way down to the creek just to get some water, but I don't mind. It's a nice... Out of the entire 12 months I've lived here, the only parts I didn't care for were the way below freezing for about a week. And that. Let's go down and get some water. I thought this would be a nice little trail down to the creek here when I put the tent there. Kind of wanted it down here closer even. Wait, now see, I can see clear across to the other side now real well. All those trees have lost their leaves. Little view across there. Yeah, I'm just excited though about all of this. I think what stands out in my mind as a kind of a summarization of what we said yesterday, because I think it was very important what we said the last couple of days, might be, some of you may not have saw it because you probably didn't watch the whole video. It might have been boring and I was just me walking. But usually somewhere in the middle, we sit down and start talking about some things and start, philosophizing and get into some pretty interesting things. But we've been covering some deep things. I don't know if some of you know just how important it is, the stuff that we're discussing. It's the secret that almost no one's ever really, I don't think anyone's ever understood for 2,000 years. And it's just that it's been there the whole time. Jesus said it. The truth will set you free. So to summarize, you have to know the absolute truth. And you can't just assume that what you believe is the truth. You need to know. You need to have gnosis. True, clear revelation of what the truth is. And when you know the truth, it will set you free. That's how it works. And the truth is that you are who you are, as opposed to the things that are happening to you in this world. Takes so long. You drowned rat, huh? You don't look very happy. Come on. Couple of drowned rats. That's the Buddha. They're always sniffing, seeing what they can find. Hey, my saw. I left my saw. I was looking for that. Couldn't find it. Didn't rust or anything. Hasn't been here that long. Woo-wee. You get your exercise out here. That's why sometimes I don't like to do things so nice, so easy. Because then your comfort zone, you know. Okay, we gotta get the coffee. Pot. Don't know if we're gonna get this fire going. Where's the coffee pot? Oh, wow. Days like this are make it a little more difficult getting out of the rain stuff. But that's when you don't have a cabin or something to get inside, when you're not really ready. Okay, here we go. I'm making my own trail mix too. I'll show you how I'm going to make it a little later, maybe today or tomorrow. Now it takes off. Isn't that crazy? Huh. Here we go. La da di da da. We're gonna get some. Well, la da di da da. Whew. I have to stand under a tree to kind of get some of the water off of me. I don't think it's going to rain very long though. An hour maybe. Not too hard. Okay, I literally am soaking wet. Soaking! So we'll sit in the car. Soaking wet. Okay. It's going now. Well, I'm gonna go. It's raining still, but anyway, so it's raining, but not real hard, but it's sprinkling pretty good. And it's been sprinkling steady for a couple hours. But we'll be back under the trees, and I'm just gonna see if I can get back in here without getting too wet. And just kind of clear the trail. I'm not gonna make it perfect, but I'm gonna try and make it wider. And I'm not gonna try and go fast and and just try to enjoy the day. Make a little trail. I found this axe at a thrift store. It's drop forged. It's very sharp. It's actually pretty old. It's a good tool. It's a good weight for me. I don't like real heavy ones. Like down the road one day I'll probably get rid of little trees sticking up like that, but now I'm just taking off the branches so you can walk by them. I don't know how far I'll get on this trail today. Just trying to clear the path. Like if I see branches that kind of stick out, I'll try and knock them off. See one here. Now, I like to do things like this. It's like when you were a kid and you'd build a fort, building a trail, things like that. That's fun. It's not work. It's joy. It's like playing with your Tonka trucks or your Legos or something, or Lincoln Logs, putting things together. Life should be about pretending, about building, creating with the mind, fantasy. Because we build our fantasies, you know. Well, I think we have a... It's kind of like that, only it's... Oh! Tree came back and hit me right in the face. You know, it's kind of like that now. Our phones are like fantasy. The movie industry and all that is all fantasy. And we're doing things with our mind to be creative, but it's with our body we're doing nothing. So our body's atrophying, but we're being creative on our phone, living in a fantasy. But this physical world is the fantasy. This is the greatest game ever made. This is our avatar. And there's all kinds of adventure, but we're not living life as though it's an adventure, as though it's fun, as though it's a game, as though it doesn't matter that much. If you lose the game, you're just practicing to get better and better. And as an adventure, not as something like, you know, if you lose the game, you lose your life. That's not how it ought to be. And everything is so important, you know. If you don't go to work one day, you know, you lose your job, you lose your career, you lose your life. It's too stuffy wuffy. Got to go to work and be there so many hours. Well, it's no longer fun when somebody's telling you what to do and, you know, basically giving you slave labor, giving you like a prison food, right? That people eat. And they like it. They go to McDonald's. That's prison food. You know, like, oh, let's go get takeout. No. Kids these days don't even know what it's like to have a good meal. You know, real meal cooked over the fire. Campfire. That's a meal. You know, people don't know what life is. They don't understand it. This is metal too, all the way, so it doesn't... When you have axes or hammers that are made out of wood, then if you hit them, you know, it scars them up and they eventually break. But this metal, there's so much more strength. Always got a song in my head, and I don't put it there. I don't know where it even comes from. Still remembering old lyrics and music from the 60s, you know, going through my head. I haven't heard for years. You know, I think human beings are like a hard drive. It's got a bunch of junk on it that needs to be removed and updated with a better program, you know. We need to make our own program. Put better memories on the hard drive. No need to get rid of the old memories, but make some new. Not sit around looking at pictures the rest of our life, but getting out there and inventing new programs and take more pictures and take more memories. You know, spend our life trying to get rid of memories when we should be trying to make new memories. What's he doing, buddy? What are you doing? Come on. What's he doing? Come on. Okay, well. Jeepers, Ma. Don't be so cranky. They respect their mother so much. She's kind of mommy-ish with them. Huh. Okay. There. Yeah, see? We didn't waste a day just because it's raining. Just say, I've never really liked the rain or the cold or the winters. I don't mind them as much here because they're short, for one. trail takes off that way sometimes, but so we're going to find out how far this goes, how it connects with other trails. Let's finish this trail. Nice. So we can come down from where we're camped down to get to this trail. My handle is moving. They're feeding them. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. This handle keeps slipping. There, we got that thing off. Now, the handle came off. I don't know how that's going to work now. I'll save that handle. I might put it back, but I think I'm going to make a leather handle for it. Oh, if I can hold it. Boy, I can't use that no more without a handle. And the handle seems to just come right off. So, let's go up and fix this. There, I fixed it. So, I just found a strap just for temporary, because that other handle was coming off. But I'm going to find some leather, like if I have to buy some leather shoestrings or something, and fix the handle perfectly. Alright, so let's go back to the trail. We actually made quite a bit of progress. I'm just not going to probably be doing it as perfectly as I was, because I just want to make a basic trail for now. So you can get through here, just basically not making a 4-lane freeway, just yeah, I got a nice little trail going through here now. That's about what I want for now. Come in here later, do a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and go, guys, and I'll see you next time on the adventures of crazy off-grid living of David Bose. See you later. This works pretty good.